Hello everyone, this is just going to be a really quick video today, and it's basically an update on the Merc because this is future Nino now. I just started work on it and it's very clear that I'm not really going to be able to take this Merc forward any further without doing quite major piece of work, which I'm going to have to kind of plan for. So you'll see what it is in the video, which I'll show you right now. Welcome back to another Merc 220e video. So where we left off, this car still not starting. It comes up to temperature and then it just cuts out. In the last video you see me testing for spark, and it looked as though, very much looks to me, like we've got some kind of ignition problem, whether it's the coil or the HT leads or the spark plugs. I'm not 100% sure yet. So what I've actually gone and done is, after a couple of suggestions from people on the channel, I have purchased some genuine Bosch HT leads. So I think the first thing to do is we'll just switch these over and see if that changes anything. If that doesn't change anything, I have actually got two new coils. These are Hella, they're not Bosch. I have picked up 4 new Bosch spark plugs as well, because I thought, well, if I'm doing the coils and the HT leads, it kind of makes sense, doesn't it, to also do the spark plugs. And it's another day where it's hotter than the core of the sun. I had someone comment on my last video and I said it's 29 degrees. They said, oh, where they are, you know, that's considered just warming up. I would like to remind non-UK viewers that it's never this hot in this country, and that everything in this country is constructed to keep you warm, not to keep you cool. Almost nobody has AC. Bear that in mind when I'm moaning. And so this is the plan, right? If it ends up not being anything to do with the ignition, I mean, it's, you know, I was going to refresh this whole car anyway. That is my plan over the long term, to basically refresh everything, you know. So, you know, fitting new HT lead spark plugs and coils right now, even if it doesn't fix it, would have been part of my plan anyway. So I'm not bothered about having to do it, you know. That's not really an issue at all. But what's going to happen now is, so if I change all these things over and it still doesn't start, I'm not going to go any further with this car with the wiring loom like it is. So you know by now we've got a dodgy wiring loom on this car. And so if you go on to any of the Merc forums and you just look at just almost any post these days, right, when someone just says, oh, I've got a W124, I'm having this issue, someone, like, the first response back is always just straight off the bat, have you replaced the wiring loom on this car? And then that person will say no, and then that person will come back and say, we can't help you until you've replaced the wiring loom, because all bets are off if you've got a junk wiring loom. And that's the same for so many posts, like there's hundreds of posts about these cars where that's just the thing on forums now. They just say, just replace your loom. It's just, we can't, it could be anything, it could be absolutely anything. And that's kind of the position I'm in. So what I'm going to do, if this coil stuff doesn't fix it, so actually a couple of people said it could have been the crank position sensor. Now this crank position sensor was actually replaced not long before I bought this car, so I don't think it's that. I have ordered a replacement because, like someone pointed out, if they just put a cheap part in there, you know, it could have just died really quickly. So I have ordered a Bosch crank position sensor. It's not here yet, but maybe I'll replace that before doing the wiring loom. But here's what we're going to do. I'm going to try this ignition stuff. If it doesn't work, then I'm going to cease work on this car until I can pull it round into my space, and then we're going to sort the whole wiring loom out, because it does seem silly to keep going on like this when so many issues are down to this gammy wiring. Right, so now I've just got to undo all of this stuff that I put back together again, haven't I, clearly? Oh no, did I? I think I only, is it all finger tight? You don't want to be dropping any tools around here because there's a drain hole somewhere around here. Oh yes. Right, so what have we got in here? I mean, I'm hoping just 4 HT leads. Yeah. Wait. What's that for? Got 4 HT leads and this thing. And where does that go? What? I'm just going to put that over there and pretend that's not a problem. I know nothing about planes, but I can tell you that that was a cool plane. Oh, of course they don't just come out easily. That'd be... So basically I designed access to this for children or pygmies because I can't get my hand in there. Oh no, hang on, that's different straight away. We've got it kind of like the other way around. These exist in a right angle off the plug, and then these bits onto the coil are straight, and then these new ones are right angle onto the coil and then straight out of the... Let's just try it, see what happens. Hotter than the core of the sun. No, these are the wrong parts. They specifically told me that these were the right ones, but they're not. So you can see here I've got the new leads in 1 and 4, and the old leads are still in 2 and 3. So you can see it's right angle, comes at a right angle out of there, and these new ones come up straight. And then when you get down here to where they actually plug in, you can see that they're right angled on this end, but that under there is the plug for number 4, but I can't plug it in because obviously that's over the top of it, and I can't really spin it out of the way. And so this is one of the new coils that I've just unwrapped, and these new HT leads don't even fit on the coil properly, whereas the old HT leads do fit. So I mean, we're not going to have to change the HT leads. I mean, looking at these old HT leads, they look, to my eye, in okay condition, to be fair. There doesn't look like there's any splits. I mean, this end's a bit gammy looking, but I don't think that's actually bad. There don't appear to be any splits in the actual insulation there. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to keep the old HT leads for now. I will send these back and see if I can get the proper ones actually sent out. I'll keep those, but I am going to now just go straight ahead and replace the coils. So it's quite good actually, because this new coil clearly shows how it's mounted in there. So it's just this bolt here and that bolt there, and that's all it is. Now, I did say in the previous video, they are awkward because these coils, they're there, you can see. So that's one coil with the plugs removed, and then another coil there. They are actually under the intake manifold, but the 2 bolts on the top there, you can kind of see. There's one bolt just there, and then there's another one a little bit further down. So I think I'm just going to remove those bolts and then essentially just kind of get in there and then drop them down from below, I think. I mean, there is quite a bit of space. It's just going to be a little bit awkward, I know. Get out of there, leaf. Get out. Oh my god, there's so much dirt in there. How on earth am I going to get that out? Maybe just remove this longer. Right, I truly believe that every car company employs an engineer whose sole job is to just like engineer in at least one completely inaccessible bolt somewhere on the car. So I've just been trying to kind of take this throttle body off just a little bit, and you can see there's this bolt just there, the gold bolt. I mean, I don't know how you get that out all the way. I mean, I don't want to take that out all the way because I don't think I'll ever get that bolt back in. So I've just kind of had to maneuver my socket with a UJ on the end, just to try and get down there, just to get the bolt that's right tucked away down there. Yes. Well, it would be if it would actually work.
Which year is that one?
This is 1992.
Okay, yeah. Are they trying to make it wrong again?
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah, thank you. So I've managed to Ow, my arm is stuck. I managed to unbolt one of the coils, and so you should be able to see there. That's the bottom of it. Now, what you might or might not be able to see is that just the wire in there going into the coil is all bare. It's completely bare, so you don't plug these coils in like with an actual regular plug. If you take a look at the new replacement one, you kind of got two terminals that you have to wire into. Now that wiring that you can see there, so the insulation has come off of those wires, and I can see that they're actually touching. So it's just another eco junk wiring harness problem. Just straight off the bat, going absolutely everywhere on this car. This is just futile. I am fighting a losing battle with this wiring. I can see why everyone in the forums, like I said, just post straight away, have you replaced your wiring harness, not even going to bother helping you unless you have. I can completely understand why, because it just affects absolutely every component on the engine. I am fighting a losing battle here. I think the only sensible thing to do now, rather than just keep kind of like wholesale replacing components, is I need to fit a new loom to this engine. I don't think there's even any point in me trying to continue on with this job, to be honest with you. It's just nuts. I mean, it's like playing whack-a-mole. It's the only way I can describe it. You know, you fix a bit here and another bit pops up, but it's all from the same source. It's still all of the wiring. So I don't know. I can't. This is just, it's just silly. It's a waste of my time. Oh. No, that's it. I'm calling it. I'm not going any further. This needs to go on my driveway space, and I need to take it apart. I need to put a new loom in. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. God, so annoying. I can't think of another way to do it, really. It's just, yeah, it is what it is. I mean, I knew this was going to come. I was just really hoping that, you know, we could get this sorted before. All right, mate. But just enough to give it a spin around the block. So the saga very much continues, and if you want to keep up to date with the saga, then please just hit subscribe down here, especially if you've watched more than one of my videos. It really does help me out, and while you're here, you may as well give me a follow on Instagram as well. This is my username, so see you in the next one, I suppose.